evolving digital landscape, for your business to thrive, you must adapt or die. Welcome to Marketing in the Age of AI, the podcast helping you harness the power of AI and marketing tools to revitalize and grow your business. And now here's your host, marketing expert and author of Authentic Marketing in the Age of AI, Emmanuel Rose.
Welcome to this episode of Marketing in the Age of AI. Today, we are talking about search engine optimization and getting some clues to how we should be managing our SEO as we continue to deal with this avalanche of content. I'm joined today by Brendan Leibowitz, who is the owner and founder of SEO Optimizers, and he's been doing SEO for a little more than 17 years. So, Brandon, I'm really excited to have you on the show. Thanks for spending time, and I can't wait to pick your brain a little bit.
Thank you for having me on today.
You bet. Well, of all the things in marketing, how did SEO grab your attention for such a long time?
I just fell into it, wasn't planning on it, got my degree in business marketing, and after I graduated from college, got one of the first jobs I got out of school was helping a company out with their SEO, which was pretty new to me back in 2007. They didn't really teach it to you in school. And just after working there for a few months, just realized this is the future. Everyone's probably going to have a website, and digital marketing is probably the way to go. And SEO is just free traffic. And that got me focused on that because it's like, who wants to, paid ads, social media, it all works, but free traffic always sounds pretty tempting. So that's what I focused on over the years, helping people out, just tapping into that free Google traffic.
Nice. And what were some of the fundamentals of SEO that you saw in 2007 that are still remain fundamentals in 2024, 2025?
Pretty much it's content is king is one of the first things that I learned. And you just have to have content, meaning text. Google struggles with images and videos and audio. They're much, much better at it, and they're getting really close to understanding it, but they still rely heavily more on text. And the more text you're able to put on your website, the happier Google is. Or even like for video content, if you're putting it up on YouTube, transcribing it or timestamping it, or just adding more text helps the search engines, helps those platforms better understand what that content is all about, and then hopefully rank you for the correct keywords.
Nice. I love that. I think sometimes for beginning marketers or even sometimes executives don't understand how important written content still is in with all the things that we do in digital marketing. What are you seeing in terms of AI generated content versus other content, and how the search engine results are changing based on that?
Well, Google last year said we don't care anymore who writes the content. AI, human, it doesn't matter because we can't tell the difference anymore because AI content has gotten too good, but it's not accurate. So if you just copy and paste verbatim from ChatGPT or something, like write me an article about t-shirts, and if you're selling t-shirts, and it's going to be really generic and kind of boring and not the best. And it might be full of inaccuracies, those AI hallucinations where it makes things up.
Sure.
If it doesn't know the answer, not a good user experience, not going to look good. But if you use AI as like a starting point to give you like topics to write about or help you with the outline, you could have it write your content if you want, but I would still triple check everything because you got to be careful. But having really good prompts helps out. So if I'm using it to write content, I'll have like a prompt that's almost 2 pages long that I'm going to use if I am, because some of my clients said we don't care. Some of my clients rather still have people writing. I still prefer people, but Google said we don't care. So it's just got to make sure it's accurate, edit it, and make sure it's beneficial for the readers.
So the fundamentals of writing remain, which is there has to be value A for the humans, and there has to be value B for the bots that are crawling to see the search keywords. And our latent, is the LSI still an important thing? the latent semantic indexing, or is that old news too?
No, you want to try to index your pages. Getting your pages indexed is not always the easiest because you could create all these pages and Google might not find those pages because Google just has a certain allotment of how many pages they'll crawl on a website. And if you want to make sure all your pages get found, creating a sitemap and submitting your URLs to Google Search Console also helps out. But and I think you mentioned backlinks. Backlinks are also very, very important. You have to get other websites to talk about you, other third-party sites talking about you with a clickable link. Gets Google, sends trust signals to Google saying, hey, someone else is talking about your website. You must be a little bit popular, a little bit more trustworthy. And the more backlinks you get from relevant and authoritative sites, the higher Google's going to rank you in the search results.
And yeah, where do you stand in 2024, 25 on the press release and that process of press release for backlinks?
I mean, any business can do a press release. It's not weird to do a press release. It's not bad. It's just not going to move the needle like it did in the past because you're just getting on all these, depending on what you do. If you're just going to a press release website for distribution, they're just going to put you on a bunch of just generic news sites, and Google's probably bought all those and just devalued those sites because they just know it's too easy to get a backlink, and anywhere where it's too easy, usually it doesn't have that much of an impact. Plus, you need to be on relevant sites. And if you're just on a bunch of news sites, if you're a news site, that's fine. But
yeah,
if you're something else, you probably want to be on more niche related websites. So in terms of benefits for SEO, it's not really the best, but it's fine to do a press release for a business. It's not bad. It's just not going to have that same impact that it did 10 years ago.
Yeah, gotcha. So then what are two or three of the things that you're seeing that are making the biggest impact in search right now?
There are a lot of things. I mean, one important thing that Google's been stressing is user behavior, is what happens when people get to your website. And if you're ranked number one on Google and everyone that goes to your website hits that back button after 3 seconds, that tells Google maybe you aren't the best for this position, and let's move you down and let's push number 2 to number 1. And then let's see how do people behave. So making sure that you have a good user experience, your website is clean, easy to navigate through, looks good on mobile, desktop, make sure it loads quickly, just all the kind of, make sure you have all your important information at the top of your page, because if you make people scroll, you're going to lose half your visitors. Most people don't scroll or swipe, which is really weird, but if they don't see what they're looking for right away, they're hitting that back button. There's plenty of other options on Google. There's ads, there's a lot of distractions, a lot to choose from. So you got to make sure you have a really good user experience on your website nowadays.
Yeah, we got 2.6 seconds or less to get somebody's attention, right? And
TikTok.
So yeah, the TikTok brain has impacted all of us. I've noticed even my own attention span is shrinking as I do my own searches. So I think that's interesting. What you're saying about dwell time, or is there another phrase for it besides that now? Dwell time.
They keep changing names, and Google Analytics came out with GA4, and they removed bounce rate and changed all these terminology. But essentially, you just want to see like how long are people staying on your page, and also you can see do they leave that bounce rate, or I think they changed it to engagement rate on GA4.
Yeah. Engagement rate. So, and then I guess also you kind of want to have some links in there also for the people to do continued research. Also, is that a technique as well?
Yep. You want to, just like you want to get other websites to link to you, you also want to link to other pages on your website and interlink your website together, especially the blogs, because someone's reading a blog, and if they just get to the end of the blog and there's nothing to click on, they're just gonna close it and be done with it. But if you have clickable links that point to other pages, people will follow it and stay on your website longer. Google also follows those backlinks. So interlinking related pages together to build topical relevance is really helpful. And a lot of people don't utilize internal linking, but it is very important for SEO.
Gotcha. So we got user experience, content above the fold, and then the standards of load speed and making sure that it's mobile compatible. Give me one other thing that's important for us to focus on for 25.
And I mean, backlinks are always an important thing, and you have to build backlinks. If you're not building backlinks, it's really, really, really difficult to rank. I've only seen a couple websites that don't have backlinks, but they're ranking for really low competition keywords. Anything that has a decent amount of competition, you're going to need backlinks, and you have to build good quality backlinks. And a quality backlink to Google is from a website that's relevant and authoritative. Those are the two things. Relevancy is really the most important, but authority, the bigger the website, the more SEO value that backlink is also going to pass on.
And then what's your process for working on getting those quality backlinks? What do you like to do to get those for your clients?
First, looking at our competitors, because using tools like Ahrefs or Moz or SEMrush will let me look at any website's backlinks. So I can look at your backlinks and try to figure out which ones are relevant and authoritative, and try to reach out to those sites to see if they would potentially link out to me. Because if they are linking to one of my competitors, they possibly would link to me. Doesn't guarantee it.
Right.
It's very difficult to get them to, but sometimes you can acquire those links, or you see they're in like a chamber of commerce, or they're in a website where you could just join it and it's just a free for all. Versus if they're on like the New York Times, might be a little bit tougher to get that author to write out to you.
That's going to cost you.
Yep, that's a tricky one. But maybe there's some incorrect information in that article, and you can point out like, hey, I saw that you mentioned this, and this link doesn't work, like finding broken backlinks or broken links and things like that. So reaching out to the author, but those are all really tedious and take a lot of time, a lot of patience, and are not easy to acquire.
Yeah. So you start with your competitors' backlinks, and then any other ways that you're getting backlinks that people can emulate?
I mean, podcasting is a great way to build backlinks. I did my own podcast for a while, but then I realized if I do a guest podcasting, if they have a website, they'll post it me on their website, and I'll get an SEO backlink that way. And so it's just all about trying to think outside the box. Like, how can I get other websites to link out to me? If you just ask for a backlink, it's not going to work. But if you offer something of value, like time or content, so a lot of people will offer content and write for other websites and try to offer editorial content as a way to build backlinks. But those tools like Ahrefs and Moz really let you look at your competitors and be like, all right, I see that you're doing a lot of podcasting, or you're doing directories, or you're doing whatever it is. You can pretty much reverse engineer their entire strategy to see what is working for them.
Nice. Switching gears a little bit, now that we've got these tools like Perplexity that are generative and pointing out shopping, for instance, what are you seeing in terms of this concept of generative engine optimization, and is that changing how you're doing anything?
That one is, well, for AI, you got to put schema on your website. Google, Bing, Yahoo, like 10 years ago, probably longer than that, made this coding language up saying, put schema.org code tags on your website. And this is going to be how we could identify different aspects of your video. Like if you're uploading this video to your website as a podcast, you could put all this different schema markup saying like, here's how long the video is. Here's the date it was recorded. Here's a thumbnail of it. Here's a link to the video. Here's a title, description. Here's Brandon. Here's all this information. It's like rich content that they're able to pull in, and schema is usually what AI, or seems to be what AI is really pulling from, is making sure that you have schema. But schema is just SEO best practice. You should always have schema on your website.
All right.
But with the AI, it's still just trying to figure out what are they doing? How are they ranking websites? But I feel like you can't just be only on content, because people are just using AI to create content, and then it's going to put out those AI hallucinations, and people are putting up incorrect information. It's like that never-ending loop of just getting the wrong stuff out there. But I think they have to look at some trust signals like backlinks or social signals or something else. And plus, ChatGPT is OpenAI, which is Microsoft, which is really Bing. So right. A lot in there, and they're probably using a lot of what Bing's algorithm is in there with some other strategies as well. But it's just trial and error, just like with Google or wherever. It doesn't matter if you're searching on Amazon, if you're searching on Yelp or TripAdvisor or any website that has a search. There's ways to optimize for it, and just try to figure out what those platforms are looking at.
Yeah, no, I like it. I think that's it's an interesting deconstruction that you just made, that it's like Bing's important because of the way that it flows through to the AI. So that's a good thing to remember. I'm curious what kind of clients that you like to work with with your agency.
Usually it's more local businesses or e-commerce, but not really any specific industry or niche. Kind of for the most part, as long as you're not just selling something really generic, like a t-shirt. A lot of competition. It's gonna be really, really tough to rank for that because you're competing against like Target and Walmart and Amazon and all these big players. But if there's something niche and unique about your business, then can help out with that. So, but usually it's more local businesses and getting them up on like ranking their website, making sure they rank on Google Business Profile, making sure that they just have that presence in as many places as possible when people are searching.
Yeah, we've really are in a place now where there's so many different services and so many places to find recommendations that it's a challenge to be everywhere that you're supposed to be, isn't it?
It is tough, but you gotta take a step back and try to think, if you're looking for your product or service, where would you go? And that's where you need to be, which I always tell everyone that I work with, like, just try to think, like, if you're looking for your product or service, where are you going to go? Are you going to go on Google? Are you going to go on social media? Like,
right.
It just depends. Every industry is a little different, and you just gotta try to figure out who your audience is and how to get in front of them.
Yeah, I agree that we're going to build that ideal client profile or that list of ideal client profiles, and then figure out how they consume information and where they go for information, and then try to be there with the right message, right? And then you can figure out where you're supposed to be. Tell me about a client that you've had good or amazing success with.
One recent client was, they're a doula, and they're in a city that wasn't too heavily competitive, which was nice. So they had a website for a while, so they had some trust built up, and then we created a bunch of content, a bunch of new pages targeting different services and different cities that they want to rank for. And pretty much within almost a couple of days, they started ranking for some of these keywords on the first position of page one, which I was kind of shocked how fast it went up. Usually it's a lot slower, but because I get people that come to me with a brand new website. But if you have an older website that has some authority, some trust built up, then it's just making sure that Google could properly read it and understand what keywords you're trying to rank for, and it moves the needle quickly. But usually we have to build a lot of backlinks, and that's there's no real shortcut with that part. You have to slowly build those backlinks up to get Google to trust you over time.
Yeah, but like you're saying, it starts with the correct keywords, correct keyword content, and then you've got something to crawl and something to contribute, right? Then you can get the backlinks you need.
Yep, keyword research is always one of the first starting points too. You got to figure out what keywords do I want to rank for, because little changes have a big impact in search volume, like synonyms or singular versus plural keywords could have big differences. Like one of my clients, they're a personal injury law firm, and they want to rank for personal injury lawyers, which gets 20,000 searches a month, but personal injury lawyer singular got 200,000 searches. So just by changing that one letter, you could get 10 times more traffic. And tools like the Google Keyword Planner are free and will let you do keyword research.
Have you found any of the AI tools to be valuable for keyword research yet?
I haven't used any specific AI tools. I've used ChatGPT and Gemini, but it's good to get some keyword ideas and suggestions, but search volume and all that info is way off when I compare the search volume from ChatGPT to Google Keyword Planner. Even if I'm using Google Gemini's AI,
right,
and comparing the search volume is just way off. But it's good to get some ideas off keywords. But with AI, you just gotta understand that it does those AI hallucinations, and I wish it would tell you if it was hallucinating and not just give you the wrong info. It's a little weird, but
yeah. No, that's why we say AI first, but human in the loop, and then make an assessment of how good it is. The hallucinations. That would be good if you could have it tell you when it's hallucinating.
It would be nice. I feel like I don't know why they don't tell you that, because that's just a better user experience for everybody. But maybe the AI doesn't know it's hallucinating. That might be it. It's just thinks it knows the answer, but it is weird. But the more people that use it, eventually, the more the accurate it's going to become, and it's just going to be really, really powerful pretty soon. I mean, it's already very powerful, but give it a couple more years of just getting more and more accurate, it's going to be much more powerful and easier to use.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Well, Brandon, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for reviewing this with me. If people are interested in reaching out and connecting with you, how do they get in touch with you?
So anyone that wants to learn more, I actually created a special gift for you. If you go to my website at seooptimizers.com/gift, that's seooptimizers.com/gift, and they can find that gift there along with classes I've done over the years. I've thrown up for free so they could see step by step how to do a lot of stuff that I talked about today. And also, if they have a website, I'm happy to check out their website from an SEO point of view, and they can book some time for free on my calendar there.
All right. Well, that sounds good. I appreciate the gift to the listeners, and I hope you have a great day and get outside, get away from the screens for a little bit.
Yep, it's nice to give the eyes a rest.
That's right.
I get that work-life balance and get away from those screens.
All right. Well, it's good to meet you, and thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for having me on.
All right. Thanks, Brandon. Well, it's a good primer on maintaining a focus on SEO, and that our user experience and engagement rate is a critical activity, and we do that by keeping some high value content above the fold, and then getting people links to things that are more that are continue to be important for them. So appreciate Brandon from SEO Optimizers, and I hope you learned something today, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to Marketing in the Age of AI. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. Your copy of Authentic Marketing in the Age of AI is available at Amazon.com or EmmanuelRose.com. You can also connect with Emmanuel on LinkedIn.